Here are the banners of the wrestlers fluttering in the breeze. There's Takanowakas there, Asashoryus, Daizens. Each of the wrestlers has a banner. Very colourful they are too. The start of day 11, we have Kotomitsuki in the lead with 9 wins and 1 loss. Just behind Musayama, Tochiazuma, Kyokutenho with 8 wins and 2 losses. Our first bout today, day 11, is between Takatoriki. He's at Maegashira 14, right at the very bottom of the Maegashira ranks. And he's fighting Otsukasa. They've fought 3 times previously. Takatoriki's won 2 of them. Takatoriki almost sidestepped there and then eventually pulled down. Look of disgust on his face there as he went down from that second pull. Very neatly done by Otsukasa. It's amateur national champion. Pulls him down with hikiotoshi. So Takatoriki now with 5 losses and 6 wins, and that was the 6th win for Otsukasa. Now Higonoumi, injured right shoulder and arms, fights Wakanoyama. They've had 5 head-to-heads previously. Wakanoyama's won 3 of them, so it's fairly close between the 2. So Higonoumi tries to do the overarm throw there, Watanabe, but he lands on his injured shoulder. You can see he's having troubles with that. But it's Wakanoyama who got that. And he won with yoritaoshi, so that's forced down. Yorikiri is forced out. Yoritaoshi is where they go over the edge, but then down as well. And that was 6th win for Wakanoyama. Now Kyokutenho, earlier wrestler, against Akinoshima. Akinoshima's not doesn't like people grabbing his belt. Let's see if Kyokutenho will go for the belt. Well, Akinoshima tries that one. Kyokutenho actually goes for the belt. Akinoshima blocks him off with his arms, but then Kyokutenho switches to a pull down, hatakikomi, and down Akinoshima went. So that's 8 wins now for Kyokutenho and Kachikoshi. So his ranking position is assured now, even at this stage of the basho. And there you can see Akinoshima bites the dust. All the 4 minutes or so of the rituals are completed. The wrestlers come out for the final crouch down. Daizen against Kotoryu. Both around the 150 kilo mark. Daizen a little bit faster off the mark, even though he's the older wrestler. But Kotoryu absorbs the tachiai charge and just shoves him out fairly nonchalantly there with oshidashi. 6 wins, Kotoryu, and 6 wins for Daizen after that bout. Now Toki against Oginishiki. Used to have had 6 previous encounters. Each has won 3 times. Both have got 5 wins and 5 losses apiece. Slowish start there from Toki, but he likes distance. He likes to get his long arms on the throat of the opponent. As you can see, he's just thrusting into the throat. And Oginishiki succumbs to that one. As out he goes with oshidashi. Oginishiki is another one who's had a lot of injuries. Not just currently, but over the years. Toki got demoted right down the divisions, but has climbed back pretty quickly. Last basho he had 6 wins. One before that he was in the Juryo division, but he won that and then moved up again to the Makuuchi division. Hayateumi against Tamakasuga. Hayateumi, a lightweight wrestler, only 125 kilos. Tamakasuga, average weight at around 150. See the difference there. Hayateumi got gout in his legs, but he's sticking in hard. He's taking the fight to Tamakasuga despite that bad right knee of his. Tries the arm throw there, but that's the slightly unusual one. He just grabbed the arm with 2 hands and then levered Tamakasuga over. Tottari, that technique's known as. A number of techniques in sumo which just lever the arm down. If the wrestler doesn't go down, his arm breaks. So that was unusual and interesting technique there from Hayateumi. That's his 5th win. That was Tamakasuga's 9th loss, so that means he's well into Makikoshi country. It's more losses than wins. Maegashira 3, he'll certainly slide down a few notches for the next basho, the Kyushu basho. Tosanoumi beaten 3 ozeki so far. Fights Kyokushuzan. Kyokushuzan's not so fast at coming forward. The fast shuffling forward movement they make. So you can see there, he just leant into the action. He didn't really bring his feet forward. It's a big criticism of him from the sumo stable bosses. He needs to get that fast footwork forward. So he loses there. Tosanoumi takes his 6th win, and it's a win with straightforward push-out or oshidashi. Kotomitsuki coming out for his bout against Wakanosato very soon. Wakanosato looking fairly relaxed. So this bout now is Kotonowaka against Takanowaka. Names are similar. Kotonowaka means the Japanese. Koto is a Japanese musical instrument. Waka means young. Takanowaka means noble and young. So very similar names, but they don't come from the same stable. So quick touchy eye, then onto the belt. But it's the lighter weight wrestler of the two that's on the receiving end there. Kotonowaka eventually spills Takanowaka over with yorikiri. But there was a step out, yeah, you could see that just briefly there. Takanowaka stepped out, although he seemed to have the measure of Kotonowaka. It was Kotonowaka who got the decision at the end there, just with that little single step out. Now Asashoryu. He's got 3 losses. His hopes of taking the Emperor's Cup at the end of this are fading somewhat. Here against Tamanoshima. He's also got a brother in the Judo division. Tamanoshima had a good basho last time, had 12 wins. Asashoryu didn't do so well last time, only had 7 wins. That's Makikoshi. But certainly Asashoryu, a very determined wrestler. Tamanoshima some 20 kilos heavier than the Mongolian. So from the Atari, the slam, the Mongolian tries an arm grab and a twist down, but it's Tamanoshima settles in there. He's an ex-amateur champion. They tend to be more skillful than the other wrestlers, and there was a nice little twist there. He hooked his leg round the back of Asashoryu and dumped him down. Haven't seen Tamanoshima done that one before. This is only his 5th Makauchi basho. He's done quite well previously. Previous basho, I said, was 12 wins and 3 losses, so that was a good one for him then. Asashoryu, but Asashoryu gets really annoyed when he loses. This man burns to win. So he comes out there, bangs in, then looks for that arm with both of his arms. Tries a similar technique to the one we just saw a bout or so ago, the tottari. That's the arm lock pull down. Then they settle in on the belt. And normally there you would expect but there you see the leg hooks around, and that drops Asashoryu pretty firmly on his back in the dojo. So it's 4th loss now for Asashoryu, and now his hopes are fading. And that was the 5th win for Tamanoshima. Now Kotomitsuki, he's got 9 wins so far. He fights Wakanosato. He's fought, they fought each other 4 times previously. Each has won twice. Kotomitsuki had a poorish basho last time. He had 6 wins and 9 losses. On the other hand, Wakanosato had 9 wins and 6 losses. So a better basho for Wakanosato last time. Both about the same weight, both around the 150 kilo mark, but Wakanosato the shorter, the squatter of the two. There's a hard head-banging start. Kotomitsuki stays in tight, that's his hallmark. Drove forward hard with the feet after the slam and just kept going into Wakanosato. Touch and go at the end there, but Wakanosato went touchdown outside first as Kotomitsuki lunged into him. So 10th win now for Kotomitsuki, still in the lead on day 11. Yorikiri win there for Kotomitsuki. Let's watch that other one again. So there's the slam, the atari, then the arm work. Kotomitsuki stays in tight. Now there he is in very tight, drives into his opponent Wakanosato, and eventually it's Wakanosato who goes down first. So a determined start by Wakanosato, nevertheless, but he loses the initiative at that point, and then it's just Kotomitsuki driving in hard all the way. So it comes off. See the marks on his stomach there. That's marks you get sometimes when the wrestlers go for the belt. Fingernails, fingers scrape the skin of the opponent's stomach. Because there's lots of tactics. Some wrestlers put the belt on as tight as they can endure, so it makes it more difficult for the other wrestler to grab hold. Sometimes they even wet it so as it will dry even harder. Now Kaiho here against Dejima. They fought 4 times. Dejima's won 4 times. So Kaiho coming out absolutely determined against Dejima. Dejima's got that inflamed right leg. There's that uchigaki that we saw Kaiho beat Musashi Maru with earlier. And there's a nice spin at the end there. Well, Dejima's suffering there. It's in the Japanese tradition to carry on fighting, even though they've got injuries. It has to be a pretty bad injury to stop them competing. And they don't take any prisoners. So Kaiho looking better and better. That's his 7th win. Previous Basho he had 9 wins, so he's on a bit of a roll right now. So far he's beaten 1 Yokozuna and 2 Ozeki. And there's a Sekiwaki wrestler who he's just disposed of. Tochiazuma fights Tokitsuemi. Weight, roughly similar. Tochiazuma's a lightweight wrestler, 144 kilos. Tokitsuemi, 10 kilos lighter, but not a lot in it. Tokitsuemi had a good bar. Look at that, beautifully sidestepped. Tokitsuemi just dived out. Chumonzumo there, sumo to order. Tochiazuma read him absolutely correctly. And that's the 8th win for Tochiazuma and Kachikoshi on day 11. Still a few days to go yet, and a good score already for Tochiazuma at Sekiwaki rank. 6th loss for Tokitsuemi. Now the lone Ozeki, Musoyama, from the Musashigawa stable. Well, the other Ozekis have all gone now. Kaiho's out, Chio Taikai's out, Miyabiyama's out, so this is Musoyama, who fights Takanonami, who was spent many a year at that Ozeki rank, slowly declining now. Got a bad leg, and he's got bad ankles. He's slowly going down the ranks. Previous Basho only had 5 wins against 10 losses. Musoyama the other way around, 10 wins and 5 losses. So Musoyama powering in there, has got that deep arm right round the back, tries to hook round the back of the leg, and eventually shoves Takanonami out with yorikiri. Well, fairly workmanlike performance from Musoyama there. That's 8 wins for him and Kachikoshi, and 7th loss for Takanonami. So he's getting perilously close to the 8-loss position. Giving him more losses than wins by the end of the Basho, and at Maigasho of 5 he'll slide even further down the rankings next time out in Kyushu. Now, Musashi Maru, we saw his legs seem a bit suspect in these last few bouts we've seen him in. He's already given away 4 Kimboshi. That's a wrestler, lower rank wrestler beats the Yokozuna, they get what is known as a gold star or Kimboshi. Actually affects their pay as well. This becomes a pay increment. So Tochianada comes out across the gap a little bit faster, looks for the belt, tries a pull down. Start now just going for a straight push against the much heavier bulk of Musashi Maru. Musashi Maru settling in a bit there now. Are his legs suspect or not? He's certainly carrying a lot of weight there, more weight than normal, and there was a spin, a twist. Sometimes these really heavy ones go down to that twisting action. The start of the twist is difficult, but once you get them just crumbling a little bit, then it's not so difficult. So Tochianada takes his 6th win, 5th record loss for a Yokozuna. I can't recall a Yokozuna having given away so many victories or taken so many losses in the past. So there's that underarm grip of Tochianada, stomach to stomach. And Sechimaru starts powering forward, maybe thinks he's okay at this point. There's that deep grip of Tochianada, and shortly we'll see the spin. And And there it goes, there's the spin. He sensed the weakness in Masashi Maru's position, and down he went. So 5 losses for Masashi Maru. At the end of day 11, Kotomitsuki is still in the lead with 10 wins and 1 loss, and behind Musoyama, Tochiazuma, Kyokutenho with 8 wins and 3 losses. Well, there's the big Yokozuna, looking a bit lonely. But stay with us, we'll be back very shortly with day 12.